हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. I'd like to welcome all the devotees for our special session today.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Sudhir Mataji, Rama Mataji, Hema Mataji, Surya Mataji, Avinash Prabhu, and so on. Hare Ram. Okay, so we'll start with the bhajan and then we'll proceed.
Shri Ramachandra Prabhu. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhayataranam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhayataranam. Navakanjalochana kanja mukhakara kanja pada kanjaronam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhayataranam. Shri Ram Jai Ram Kandarpa Aganita Amita Chabitavanila Niraja Sundaram Patapita Manahamattarita Ruchi Shuti Navami Janaka Sutavaram. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhayataranam. Shri Ram Jai Ram Bhajudina Bandhu Dinesha Danav Daitya Vansha Nikandanam. Raghunanda Ananda Kanda Kausha Chanda Dasharatha Nandanam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhayataranam. Shri Ram Jai Ram Siramukuta Kundala Tilaka Charu Odharu Anga Vibhushanam. Ajanubhuja Sara Chapatadhara Sangrama Chitakara Dusharam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajaman Harana Bhava Bhayataranam. Shri Ram Jai Ram Iti vadati Tulasitasa Shankar Shisha Muni Manaranjanam. Mama Hritaya Kanja Nivasa
कुरु कामादि खलतलगञ्जनं श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भजमन हरण भवभयदारुणं श्रीराम जय राम श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भजमन हरण भवभयदारुणं नवकञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुखकर कञ्जपाद कञ्जारुणं श्रीराम जय राम.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Bhangi, for singing that beautiful bhajan. Thank you. So we start our program. Oh. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarini Pancha Kalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So
Hare Krishna.
I'd like to welcome all the devotees once again. So today we'll make an humble attempt to glorify some of the pastimes of Ramayana and some of the teachings from Ramayana. Yes, because we are born in a pious land of Bharatvarsha, somehow or other, yes, we hear Ramayana, Mahabharata from here and there. Yeah. Sometimes, yes, we hear in a proper way, but sometimes as well, most of the things are concocted. People want to glorify the demon or the demoness, and even want to criticize Lord Ram or Mother Sita. Though Lord Ram is known as Maryada Purushottam, he is the personification of dharma. He is a personification of ideal king, ideal husband, ideal son. So especially in the beginning of Ramayana itself, there is this nice discussion happens, and which really says that how Valmiki Muni asks Narad Muni, could you please tell us like a person who is impeccable in his character, who is so exemplary in his behavior? Do you know somebody, and would you really like to elaborate on that? And Narad Muni, without thinking of anyone else, he starts glorifying. Yes, this is the person of Lord Ram, and he goes on describing how the Lord is so like magnanimous in terms of the beauty, the quality that he is really manifesting. And of course, there's this beautiful way how uh, Valmiki Muni, he gets the inspiration to write Ramayana. So yeah, I will not touch the complete Ramayana. Definitely, we will not do justice in next the 45 minutes. But I'll just take couple of pastimes, couple of uh, teachings, just like in a drop in the ocean, right? Might not even drop, but with that drop, we'll try to drown ourselves through that bindu, from that Sindhu of Kathāmṛtam. But that bindu itself would be sufficient for us to drown ourselves. So let's hear how in the beginning of Ramayana, Valmiki Muni is glorifying Ramayana. Now he's like he is being glorified in the beginning of Ramayana itself. And it is mentioned that Kojantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Sakam Bande Valmiki Kokilam. So in the beginning of Ramayana, Valmiki Muni is glorified as a kokila because he so beautifully he's singing the glories of Lord Ram. And that's why, like once we recite Mahabharata or Srimad Bhagavatam, we first offer our obeisances to the compiler, like Vyasadeva, or here we offer our obeisance to Valmiki, because once we offer our obeisances, once we are humble in front of these acharyas, we'll be able to receive that mercy that is flowing, because our humility really determines how much we can really absorb within ourselves. Because if we think that we already know Ramayana, we already know these pastimes, and hardly we can really receive the mercy. Yes, this Ramayana is so sweet. Valmiki Muni is like compared as a nightingale. Is like Kujantam Kokilam. And he is singing in so sweet voice. What he is singing? He is singing the name of Lord Ram, and he is singing from the tree of poetry. Aruhya Kavita Sakam Bande Valmiki Kokilam. And then the next verse, it is in a contrast way, he's also glorified. How he's glorified is Valmikir Muni Simhasya Kavita Vanacharina Shrunvan Rama Kathanandam Kona Yati Param Gatim. So we heard that in the previous verse, he is glorified as a kokila, singing beautifully the names and pastimes of Lord Ram. In the next verse, it is said that now he's also roaring like lion. Muni Simhasya, Simha. He's also roaring like lion. And whoever hears this poetry of Lord Ram's pastimes, this Ramayana, like his heart, all the anarthas really run away. So here the two aspects that Falastruti also through this two verses are given. One is that yes, this is very beautiful. This is really you can say Manoranjan. It's a really very melodious. And at the same time, this is also like Atmaranjan. Like it really helps us in purifying our heart through that strong message of Valmiki. It can really purify our heart. The Ramayana also, it's called Karuna Sagar. It's full of sacrifices. You see the sacrifice of Lord Ram, Mother Sita, Lakshman, Urmila. So many characters we see. If we really read or hear in a Zen voice, nothing else comes to our mind. Yes, it really gives a lot of satisfaction, but might not be a lot of laughter or a joy, right? but it really, makes you cry. Right? What Lord has to go through to establish himself as an example, how to live. Lord comes here, to show us how to live a life, because especially Lord Ram. But of course, when Lord Krishna comes, he gives us a glimpse of the spiritual world. He gives us that experience of the spiritual world. But whenever Lord Ram comes, he gives that, okay, what exactly, the life, we should really live. And that's what Ram is called, Anusthan Pradhan. And Lord Krishna is called Anubhav Pradhan. He gives us the experience of the spiritual world. Yes, whenever we hear this Ramayana, and especially this Rama Raksha Stotra also, some of you might have heard this beautiful verse. It says, Bharjanam bhava bijanam, arjanam sukha sampadam, tarjanam yamadutanam, Rama Rameti garjanam. Whenever we hear Ramayana, this beautiful pastimes of Lord Ram and all his associates, three things happens. What are three things happens? Bharjanam bhava bijanam. Like our seed of material existence, our desire to enjoy in this material world, that really gets destroyed. Bharjanam bhava bijanam. To stay in this bhavasagar, right? The seed, the propensity is really destroyed. And then arjanam sukha sampadam. Yes, that gets destroyed. And then we gain this prosperity, we gain the happiness, we gain the bliss. Arjanam sukha sampadam. And tarjanam yamadutana. By hearing Lord Ram's pastime, it even terrorizes even the Yamadutas. Even the Yamadutas get scared because wherever Lord pastimes happens, definitely Hanumanji is there and Lord himself is there. Lord is saying, Yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tisthami narada. And wherever Lord is there, how can there can be any inauspicious? Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai andhakar. Jahan Krishna tahan nahi Mahera andhikar. So wherever there is a Lord, there cannot be any ignorance, there cannot be any darkness. So yes, this Ramayana really gives us that bliss in life. This gives the direction in the life through which we can live. Yes, this Ramayana also gives us a lot of hope to us because yes, we know that pastime of Lord Ram and Ravan and so on. But most of the times we always say that Ravan हम सब की मन में है, Ram अभी तक बन में है. For most of the people, हम प्राणी सबके लिए, of course, I don't know about others, but definitely for us, we can talk about ourselves. Now, still now, we have so much of Ravan-like propensities, of this lust, ego, that thinking myself that I want to enjoy more and more and more and more. I always think for how can I really enjoy the energy of the Lord, without considering the Lord himself. I want to enjoy the Lord's property in various ways, but still now I don't want to bring Lord Ram into my heart. तो इसीलिए हम बोलते हैं कि रावण अभी तक मन में है, राम अभी भी वन में है. Yes, the time for this Ram Navami is for us to introspect, to reflect ourselves, that how we should prioritize to bring the Lord into our heart. Because Ramayana or the Acharyas, right, through the scriptures, they are giving us this highest charity to us. Yes, people talk about charity of food, charity of clothes, charity of the water, but those are really at a material level. But once Acharyas talk about the charity, they primarily talk about the two charities. They talk about Jnanadan, like charity of the knowledge, self-knowledge, Atma Gyan, through which we know that, okay, we are the soul, not the body, and how we can really identify ourselves with the spirit soul, and how we should really understand that how this material world is full of misery, and how we have go to the spiritual world. But even higher than this Gyan, this Jnanadan, Ramayana gives us through the Acharyas Abhayadan. It gives us that fearlessness. And who can give that? Only Lord can give. Bhaja Hure Mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. Nobody can give this Abhayadan, because everybody else is also drowning in this Bhavasagar. They are not above that. But because the Lord and his representatives, they are really, beyond this miseries of the material world. And they have that power to give that fearlessness. And why that fear is coming for all of us? Because we are identifying ourselves once again, that we are the body, and bhaya ditya abhinivesita syat. Isad apetyasya. We have turned our face away from the Supreme Lord. And we are taking shelter somewhere apart from the Lord. But then Ramayana gives in all the cantos, on all the places. Once you take the shelter of Lord Ram, then we can really become fearless. Whatever background we might have, and Lord doesn't see. Whatever the qualification or place or circumstance, Lord doesn't see. Lord, is not worried about it. Lord sees that, okay, just once you tell, I am yours, my Lord, Tava Asmi. This is the most important verse, like, as we here in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam. So here also in Ramayana, this is the ultimate message that Lord is giving to, especially in the pastime of that Yuddhakand, where Bibhishan and his associates, they leave the association of Ravan and come to the camp of Lord Ram. Yes, everybody, they were being skeptical about the motive of Vibhishan. After hearing from everybody, Lord Ram and asked Hanumanji, what do you think? Lord Ram was informed by Hanumanji, yes, when I visited Lanka, I saw that this is the only one house where there was a constant chanting of the holy name. And he is such a devoted servant of yours, and Lord Ram heard that, and also he saw that what is the intention of Vibhishan, because he's a Paramatma, he knows that. And he said that the most powerful verse, most powerful sloka in the whole of Ramayana. Sakrod eva prapanyayas tavasmit yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etad bratam mama. Dadami etad bratam mama. This is my promise. This is, I am taking this vow. Abhayam sarvada tasmai. I will give the fearlessness. Who once, we say, tava asmi cha yachate. Whoever, says once, sakrut eva prapanya, who even once surrenders to me by saying, I am yours. I am yours, O my Lord. I am yours. Of course, devotee adhaka level, we might not say, or we might not be able to say that, oh Lord, you are mine. But we can say, I am yours. Tava asmi. I am your property. And Manasa deho geho jo kichu mor arpilu tava pade nanda kishore. Whatever I might say belongs to me, oh Lord. It's not belong to me. It's all yours. Marabi rakhabi jo kichu tava. Like whatever you want to do, oh Lord, because I'm your property. You can do whatever. Right? Once we have that mood that Lord is saying, yes, just once you just tell, right? At least come in that process. And Lord is saying, I will take care of you. And that's what we see, right? As I said, across all the cantos, in the Bal canto, we hear that how all the devatas, they approach Lord Vishnu, just like we have been hearing our Kathāmṛtam session. In the first chapter itself, all the devatas headed by Brahma and Shiva, they went to that Kshirasagar and approached Lord Vishnu. Similarly, in this Devata Yuga also, how all the devatas approached Lord, and Lord gave them the assurance, yes, I will soon appear, but you have to also pay some price. There also hear that how Lord sent all the devatas, you go and appear, in the Yadu Vamsa and in the different members, family members, and so on. So here, he wanted to test a little bit more. I think that okay, you really appear, like in different places, and the most difficult to appear is also Vanaras. Of course, there are some associates appeared in Ayodhya as well. Right. So yes, Lord will protect us, but to see our intensity, like as we were discussing in our last session as well last Sunday also, sometime to purify us or sometime to glorify us. Lord knows what exactly His intention. We don't know, but we have to go through it. And while go through that situation, we grow through it. So yes, that is the beautiful pastime that happens in Balkanta, where devatas surrenders to the Lord, and Lord promises them that yes, I will appear soon in this earth. And in Ayodhya Canto also, there are so many pastimes. Like we hear the pastime of Ahalya, or we hear the pastime of how when Lord Ram is exiled, Lakshman wanted to also go, and he completely surrendered. And the Lord said, yes, yeah, please come along with me. He said that, okay, you are my child, how can I really leave you? Though like he was trying to forbid Lakshmana not to come to the forest. But you see the mood of even like not only Lakshman, but also the Sumitra. She said to Lakshman that, oh, from now onwards, you consider your brother, elder brother Ram is your father, Sita is your mother, and forest is Ayodhya, and serve them, and give your life to them. That was the mood of the servant, how they surrendered and how Lord reciprocated also. And there is this nice pastime later, like you can see in the Yuddha Kand, when Lakshman was really made unconsciousness by Indrajit, and Hanuman was really bringing this Sanjeevani through that forest, through that big mountain. And Bharat saw that, oh, this monkey is flying over the Ayodhya. He brought him down and said, can you tell me, who are you? What is happening? Where are you going? And Hanumanji said, yes, I am the messenger of Lord Ram, and I'm just carrying this medicine for Lakshman, and he is unconscious. And once hearing that, Bharat, I said, okay, why don't you inform our mothers as well? Because I cannot inform Sumitra, like you only can inform. And once Sumitra said that, oh, my son is not consciousness, don't worry, if he somehow leaves, then you can take my other son, Shatrugna. My sons are there, to serve Ram. But at the same time, the mood of Kausalya, once she heard that, Lakshman is in unconscious state. Now she told Hanuman, by the way, Ram always, goes well with Lakshman, Ram Lakshman. And the name of Ram alone doesn't look good. If Lakshman is leaving, then let Ram stay in the forest only. Right? You see the mood of Sumitra and Kausalya. Like we said, the mood of sacrifice, mood of surrender once again, for the pleasure of the Lord. Or as you proceed further, right, like in from Balkan to Ayodhya Kand to Aranya Kand. In Aranya Kand also we see that how all the sages and their wives, they took shelter of Lord Ram in Panchavati or in Dandakaranya, and how Lord promised them that don't worry, I will take care of you. Or in Kiskindhya Kand, how we hear that when Sugriva, extended that friendship and took shelter, how Lord really, took care of Sugriva and killed Vali. Or you talk about Sundarkand, how Lord really took care of the surrendered soul. Like especially here in Sundarkand, of course, we discussed in detail some time back and in the beginning of our second level of Gita course. There is one nice pastime happens when Hanuman reaches Lanka, and he sings the beautiful pastimes of Lord Ram, just to convince Mother Sita that yes, I am the messenger of Lord Ram, and just to convince that like I'm not just any other magical, mystical, demon trying to dissuade Mother Sita. And during that recitation, like he talks about so many pastimes. At the same time, once Mother Sita hears that and gets convinced that okay, this is the like messenger of Lord Ram, and she also wants to reveal something so that Lord Ram also knows that yes, Hanuman indeed saw Mother Sita, and now she is carrying that message. And Mother Sita narrates a very beautiful pastime, how one day while they were in the forest, there was like a demoniac son of Indra. It's called Jayanta, or he really, like, and he came in the form of a crow, and he was trying to harm Mother Sita. And once Lord saw that how this demoniac son of Indra is really attacking Mother Sita, he sent his Brahmastra to right to take care of that crow. And that crow, at least because he was born of a Devata, he knew what is the formula that we have to do when there is a problem. Come and take surrender of the Supreme Lord. So he went everywhere without any shelter. He came back once again, took shelter of Lord Ram. And once Lord Ram saw that this Kakasura, this crow, really fell at the lotus feet of Lord Ram. He said, okay, oh, yes, you have done a very terrible mistake, but now because you have surrendered, I will take care of you. So here, how we can see that how Lord is so forgiving, even if we might commit so much of mistake, but yes, Lord takes care of it. So yes, there are so many pastimes are there, right? In each of the cantos, Lord gives that abhayadam. So at any point of time, we should not be morose, we should not be sad, we should not be depressed, we should not be hopeless, right? Yes, certain situations might make us helpless, but we should not be hopeless. There should be always hope against hope. There's asanubandha, quality of a devotee is asanubandha. He always has a hope against hope that yes, once I take shelter of the Lord, now he will take care of me. So let's discuss more pastimes. So in the beginning of Balakanta, once again I can go back, and we see that how King Dasarath, he was really living a very opulent and very exemplary. You are leading a very exemplary way, the king, Ayodhya, in the kingdom, and like he had around I don't know 352 or so, right, queens, because every time Parsuram was trying to come and annihilate all the Kshatriya kings, but he had won that. Okay, if somebody is really, with a like woman or a lady or like marrying, then he would really forgive. So that's how he had really ended up marrying, so many queens. Right, in spite of so many queens, in spite of he's such a nice kingdom, exemplary kingdom, always he had one like issue, right? Like, and he was always thinking that, that yes, I have everything, still there is one but, in everybody's life, right? Like as we hear in Ayodhya also, right? Which is considered to be, Vaikuntha, but still there also, there was one but. What is the but of Dasarath? He had everything, but he had no son. That, once you are in this material world, like this Bhuloka, it is designed like that, as we always say. There will be always but. And somehow that it is really, there for us to, purify, to realize that this is not a place for a perfect gentleman. So, so here, after understanding his the problem, definitely he took shelter of the sages, and then he, performed that Putra Kamesti Yajna, because he understood that this place is designed for misery, but at the same time, like, we have some desire, unfulfilled desire, and misery. But still, just to rule the kingdom, to continue the dynasty, he wanted to have a son, and he tried. He tried performing, various yajnas, to continue the progeny with that patience and perseverance, as we see in this our Kathāmṛtam sessions as well. How Vasudeva and Devaki, they also performed some sacrifice, even if it means that, bringing their 6 sons to Kamsa, right? So whatever we do, like even if we want to achieve something big, we have to pay a price for it, right? Nothing happens, nothing good happens without paying a price to it. So here, yes, Dasarath, he performed so many, sacrifices. Of course, in this Kali Yuga, the most important sacrifice are the yajna. What is that? Sankirtana yajna. Yes, that is the quality or qualification of a, intelligent persons. The only yajna that is really, or the sacrifice that is really, ordained, is really this Sankirtana yajna. Yes, Dasarath performed this huge, elaborate, sacrifice, and then now he was blessed with that kheer, and all the queens, they accepted the mercy that was really coming from the sacrifice, and over a period of time, they really got blessed with the sons. So, as we have been discussing our Kathāmṛtam season, what is the purpose of Lord's appearance? Yes, one of the purpose is to really paritranaya sadhuna vinasaya chaduskritam. Yes, to protect the sadhus, to protect the devatas, because at that point of time, even the navagrahas and even on devatas, right? Somebody was doing a vegetable cutting seva, somebody was doing, sweeping, somebody was really, on the steps, how like when Ravana used to climb to, his throne, right? How, in a menial way, all the devatas, they were serving, Ravana, right? To protect all the devatas, right? Lord appeared, and vinasaya chaduskritam, yes, to annihilate all the demons, because yes, there will be always fools, or like Duryodhan or Kamsa, or in this Kali Yuga also there are so many fools, so whatever you say, whatever the good advice you give, they will not listen. It is the nature that they don't want to follow, they want to really go against the law of nature. And yes, in the earlier yugas, Lord came to kill the demons. Yuga, Lord has come to remove the demoniac propensities in the demons. And these are the two external reasons. But our acharyas also give that there are two very internal reasons that we usually don't hear outside. One reason it is mentioned that, like Mother Lakshmi, she was thinking that, okay, here I'm serving Lord in this Vaikuntha, but always Lord is surrounded by his associates. They always come and glorify him, and Lord also wants to be always with his devotees. And hardly we have any time, quality time for each other, like time for solitude, time for some ekanta seva. I'm not able to do some ekanta seva for the Supreme Lord. Now I want to have some exclusive time with the Lord. And Mother Lakshmi saw that, how, right? Maybe it's a time for us to really go to this material world, to this earth, where we can, have some time for each other. So that we hear that, right? When Lord Ram heard that, yes, you have to go to forest for 14 years. And Lord was very happy. He thought, yes, this is what I was really looking forward to. So that, this is the reason we had come. And Mother Sita also was so happy. Yes, this is the perfect time for us, to be to be with each other. Right? So, because that's where a devotee wants to reciprocate with the Lord. What's in it for us? For a devotee, just like a sadhaka. Yes, we also want to have a some quality time with the Lord. And how do we do it? Through our japa, through our chanting. That is really the one-on-one time with the Lord. We want to really express our feeling for the Lord. We want to call out the Lord, oh Lord, I am yours. That's what a devotees. That's how a devotee spends exclusive time, and that's how he says Susukham Kathāmṛtam. That time is really the most blissful time, where we are spending time, with the Lord in the form of japa, in the form of chanting the holy name. And we can really feel the same bliss, what Mother Sita was feeling with Lord Ram. We can also feel the presence of Lord while we chant the holy name. It's really up to us, what is really our intention when we chant. Once we finish the chant and we said, okay, let Lord go as soon as possible. Let me finish my rounds. Or we want to, have that meeting, like, if we are really meeting with some important celebrity, or like most lovable person that you have in your life, would you really like, that, okay, let the time go as quickly as possible, or we want to say that, okay, let the time stop, let it pause for forever. I want to spend as much time as possible. Similarly, when will that day come, when we'll also feel that whenever we are chanting the Lord's name, everything stops, we are completely absorbed. We also have that longingness, we have that, strong eagerness, to spend some time with the Lord. And it's just like, you see that that gulab jamun or rasagulla, right? Once it's soaked in the syrup, it becomes so sweet. Like similarly, right? Once we are soaked, in the holy name of the Lord, our life becomes so blissful, so joyful. So our interaction with the Lord or the devotee, should not be also so superficial. We should also try to spend, really quality time with the Lord and his devotees. Okay, that's about the affection. Lord and Mother Lakshmi, they wanted to share their affection, with each other. And fourth reason also it is mentioned that, for correction, especially this Ikshaku dynasty. Ikshvaku dynasty was awarded this beautiful deity of Lord Ranganath that we see in Srirangam, in Trichy. Some of you might have visited one. Like this is the largest temple, we can say, and so beautiful temple. So this deity, was really being worshipped in this dynasty of Ikshvaku. But over a period of time, the nature of time is like that. It gets degraded. Generation over generation, a decade over decade, or millennium after millennium. So somehow the quality of the worship to the Lord Ranganath deity, had degraded over a period of time. And then Lord had personally had to come to once again to bring it to the proper standard. So here, once again, Lord, as a householder, he's also setting that perfect example, how we should really bring the deity at our house, how we should really keep the deity as a center in our house, and how he established that, he gave the deity worship seminar, how we should keep the deity as the center of our house. And Srila Prabhupada also did like that. When Srila Prabhupada was traveling, some of the places, like the disciples, they were hardly, couple of months or right, old, right, in their movement. But then, sometimes he was praying to the Lord, especially in Australia. He had gone to one temple and he had just established a temple, and he had to go to another place because Prabhupada had to take care of so many places. He was praying to the deity. And oh Lord, please forgive. Like all my disciples, they don't know what to do and what not to be done. Please give them the intelligence so that they can take care of you nicely. Or one time Prabhupada had gone to one temple in Mexico, and he saw that, like, how the devotees, they were not offering sugar to the Lord, because think that, oh, sugar is really, creates diabetes, this and that, like, let's not offer. And once Prabhupada saw that, oh, how do you can really do this? Lord is transcendental. You cannot really impose your mental restrictions on the Lord. Right. Or in one temple he had gone, like he was worshipping the deity of, like Radha Krishna, right? And then once he got up, right, he saw that Gaur-Nitai deity in the same place. And then Prabhupada says, so what is it? No, Prabhupada, we have made this deity altar as like rolling, once, everybody can see Radha Krishna, on the other side, after some time they will see it as a, they see them as a Gaur-Nitai. We have made as a rolling. So Prabhupada said, they are not rolling stones, and they are the deity, the Supreme Personality. You cannot really play with the deities. So in that way, Prabhupada has, really trained all his disciples, how to take care of the deities, especially all as a really practicing devotees. We have to also take care of our deities, because that's really bring us the cleanliness in our life. Okay, so we are still in our Balkanda, where we have been discussing about why Lord appears, and in this case, why Lord appeared to really protect his devotees, to annihilate the demons, to have that affectionate relationship, exclusive relationship with Mother Lakshmi, or for each other, or for the correction, to ensure that the deity worship is ensured appropriately. So let's move on. So I'll talk about, let's say, one more pastime, and then maybe we'll pause. Of course, there is no end to the pastimes of the Lord. So yes, like here in Lord Krishna book, we see that Lord's childhood pastimes are there. I don't know, maybe 20 or 23 chapters are there, right? But in Ramayana, maybe there are hardly any 10 verses are there. which really talks about Lord's childhood pastimes. So, yeah, the same Lord, but in different pastimes, Lord manifests different potencies. So Lord Ram is called Maryada Purushottam. Lord Krishna is called Lila Purushottam. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Prema Purushottam. It's just like a moon. Jiva Goswami, one of our acharya, he gives the analogy. Just like a moon, at different days, the same moon, like sometimes we say half moon or crescent moon, or like in a different shapes, or a dark moon and so on. Like the same moon, like manifests in our eyes in a different shapes and forms. So similarly, the Lord also, in some pastimes, he manifests completely, and in some pastimes, he manifests some of the potencies of the Lord. So yes, Lord grew up, of course. All these four brothers, their relationship, is exemplary. Like once, like all these four brothers, they were sleeping in their four cradles, and all they started crying. and then the sister realized that they are meant for each other. They would really like to be with each other. And then he brought Lakshman to Lord Ram's cradle, and Shatrugna to Bharat's cradle, and they were so happy. From the very beginning of their life, they were saying that we are there to serve. And especially, of course, Lakshman is called Lakshmi Sampanna, because the true treasure is to really serve Lord Ram. Lord Ram is really the personification of all pleasure. Ram, right? Is the bliss. Satyananda Chidatmani. And Lakshman represents the service. Bharat, he thinks that anything apart from the service to the Lord is really the burden. His once again his life is about serving the Lord. When some of the acharyas, they really give so much importance and so much respect to Shatrugna, so though he might not, because they think that yes, Lord Ram is the supreme, and Lakshman, because yes, he is serving Lord Ram, definitely he's also glorious. And Bharat, definitely, like the way he has shown through that Ram Bharat Milap, the way he has sacrificed, like what kind of sacrifice he did. Once he was not successful really bringing Lord Ram back to Ayodhya in that Nandigram, what he was doing, he was not even sleeping at the level of earth. He had dug a place, and he was saying that, I have to go, below the position of Lord Ram. Just digging, he had dug, and he was sleeping underground. And then he was really, eating some barley soaked in cow urine, and he was going to the Sarayu River, and so cold weather and so cold temperature, he would go early in the morning to take bath, because he would think that, Ayodhya Vasis would think that, this is a most inauspicious person. Because of him, we were bereft of the association of Ram. We don't want to see, that's why he would really go early in the morning, not to show his face. And it was so cold water. And that's what the sacrifice of Bharat. It is mentioned in Ramayana that even the elephants, during the noon time, they go to Sarayu River, they would turn their face away, and instead of bathing, they would really, run away from that place because it was so cold. But that's how Bharat was living. Early in the morning, he was taking bath, from the Sarayu River. That is the quality of Bharat. But Shatrugna, Shatrugna, it is considered as the most glorious, because everybody like to be the servant of Lord. Everybody wants to be the devotee of the Lord. But how many are there who wants to be the servant of the Lord? Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Das Dasanu Das. We always want to identify ourselves that I am serving Prime Minister, I am serving CEO, I am serving the most important person. But here, like our acharyas, especially Sri Vaishnava acharyas like Vedanta Desika and Govindaraju and so on, so many acharyas, they have glorified a Lord Shatrugna because he has served Bharat, who is the devotee of the Lord. And Lord recognizes, especially to our scientific devotees. We always give this example that, especially in a microscope, the more number of lenses we put, the object really gets magnified. Now, similarly, we get really closer to the Lord, the more number of devotees we have in between ourselves and the Supreme Lord. And, like our parampara even is not a mood of like the gopis. We want to serve directly the Lord, or Krishna, or to Radharani directly. Our parampara is called Manjari Bhav. We want to serve the gopis, who are in turn serving the Lord, Krishna and Radharani. So here, once again, that's how the mood of Satrughna is very beautifully described. Right. So even the residents like Ayodhya, how they were so exemplary, without any duplicitous behavior. They are so fine in their character, in their behavior. Like in Ramayana, like it is mentioned, there are three types of people were there, right? One in Ayodhya, who are men of Sanskriti, they are of culture. And there was this Sri Lanka, which was really called Bikruti, and their wholly motive was to exploit. How do you really exploit the energy of the Lord? How do you really torture? How do you really kill and all that? And then there was in between what? Kiskindhya. It is really called Prakruti. Right? We can really identify ourselves. Sometimes kabhi kusi, kabhi gam, right? Sometimes we are we call tatastha energy, that's what I say. Sometime in the land, sometime in the water. Sometimes we get so much devotional atmosphere, and sometimes we are really going against the Lord. Yes, we have in Kiskindhya, some devotees like Hanuman, who are the devotees, pure devotee of the Lord, and also like Vali, who wants to torture the associates of the Lord. Or in one devotee itself, we can see both, like Sugriva. Yes, he extended his hand to Lord Ram, but at the same time, right, when Lord Ram, because of the Chaturmasya, he wanted to spend some time. Still now, he can go to this place called Malyavant Parvat in Hampi. Right, still now you can see that the place where exactly Lord Ram stayed for 4 months. Right, and during that time, how Sugriva had forgotten everything, his duty, and he was really enjoying. He was really getting entertained, with this, all this, stuff. Right, that is a quality. And once again, Lakshmana had to come and remind the duty of Sugriva, what he has to do. That is a quality of the jiva. All of us. Every time somebody has to remind us what we should do, what we should not do. And that is a prakriti of all of us. But yes, somehow or other, we should transform ourselves to bring the Lord into our heart. That, oh Lord, please, make this heart as your abode, and please don't go. And please take away that independent mentality, that we want to be the enjoyer, proprietor, and the controller, and always keep this insignificant jiva at your lotus feet. Yes, we should really call out to the Lord. Oh Lord, I am yours. That's a mood, that's a consciousness we approach Sri Ram. So yes, there are so many ways, and there are so many pastimes we can really go in detail and discuss, but this is just a trailer. Right? Of course, we can go deep and deep and deep. There are various layers through which we can understand Ramayana. Yes, these are some thoughts we wanted to share with you today. So any questions, comments, anything from anyone? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare, yes, bro, please.
Hare Krishna, Gopal Das sir. I just came to Delhi yesterday, sir. I need your blessings.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
I joined one company under our ministry as
Hare
director finance.
Hare Krishna. Yes, definitely Lord will keep you in the.
Yeah, I need. In fact, if you allow, I will just talk 2 minutes. Actually,
I'll call you, Prabhuji. I'll call you and we can discuss that.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Any topic related to today's discussion? Anybody would like to share? Any thoughts? Any reflections? Definitely, you would have heard and Lord Ram's pastime. Definitely earlier. Any pastimes or anything that comes to your mind you want to share? That
Hare
really
Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, Hema Mataji, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, you told about the crow, no, Prabhuji, when it started pecking Sita Mata. So, what the Lord Rama, he just sent what he did. Actually, what he did actually, he was he threw that Sudarshana Chakra, no?
Correct.
Sudarshan Chakra, and then when he was coming again to his place, and then again what happened, he told, of course he told, okay, I will forgive you from all these things, but one of his eyes got blinded, no?
Correct. That's what we see. Crow sees only through one eye. Yes.
Yeah, only one eye.
Correct. Yes. Unless we are given the due punishment, that punishment also becomes a blessing for us to remind that how we are the offenders. And at the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Reminding us that how, like for all of us also, we should remember that we have this body, this Navadvara body. It means that we are offenders at the lotus feet of the Lord. Because we wanted to enjoy being separated from the Lord. That's why we have come to this material world. So, like as we were discussing, a person goes to the prison means he has that, checked, cloth, a different cloth. Right. So similarly, once we are in this material world, means we have this body which is bound to decay, which is made up of this Panchabhuta. So that's what we should remind ourselves that yes, we have to go out of this body and take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Ram. Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts from anyone? Akanksha Mataji, thank you for joining. It's been a long time. We hear you. Yes, maybe devotee of Lord Ram.
Thank you, sir.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else would like to share anything before we?
Prabhuji, I have a question related to this Ramayana. Like in Lord Krishna's avatar, there was a Akashvani, and there are other symptoms through which many people and devotees knew that he is the Supreme Personality. In Ramayana, how did I mean? Was there any kind of symptoms or something which told people that he is the Supreme Personality?
Yeah, like Lord tries his best, right, to cover his supremacy, but the pastime that we discussed, right, especially one of our very, very favorite pastime, is the pastime of Jatayu, right? How, like, Jatayu sacrificed his life, for the pleasure of the Lord, and how, like Lord Ram, out of gratitude for Jatayu, he performed personally the final rites for Jatayu, and he sent him to the spiritual abode, the supreme abode. This pastime, our acharyas are saying that it really brings out the supremacy of the Supreme Lord, because not even Brahma or Shiva or any of the devatas can give this liberation or the attend to the supreme abode, but through this pastime, like one of the pastime, right? How Lord proved, he's the supreme Lord. Of course, there are so many other pastimes, but yeah, this is one of very dearmost pastime of all of it. That like how Jatayu, without considering his age, without considering his incapability, without considering anything else, right? Whether I'm successful or not successful, whether I can do it or not do it, right? Yes, this is my seva, I have to do it. Once I do it, Lord recognizes that one. And Lord gives us that supreme gift, that, even he didn't give it to his own father, Dasarath. He could not do the final rites for Dasarath, but just for a bird, old bird, he performed the final pastime. He really embraced him, and he really he felt so much grateful for him. So that, when that Pattabhisek was happening, and everybody was like having this festive mood, and playing rangolis and different colors and so on. And when Mother Sita saw that, there were some red colors being thrown, here and there, Mother Sita remembered, the sacrifice of Jatayu. Like how once again, Lord and the devotees, they never forget the sacrifice of the devotees. So this reminds us again and again that yes, we should not anyway run away from our responsibility, whether we are successful or failure. Even we are failure, in a way that Jatayu was a failure in doing what he was supposed to do. But then our Acharya said he was successful because it was said that because Ravana was such a shrewd, Pandit. He knew that, okay, if I take away Mother Sita at this nakshatra, and then I will take her for forever. But then Jatayu also much more shrewd, than Ravana, and he's tried to delay that muhurta so that Mother Sita would come back to Lord Ram as quickly as possible. Right? So yeah, in so many ways, the devotees, they want to sacrifice, and Lord also wants to reciprocate in a merciful ways. Or talk about that Ahalya pastime, or yeah, there are so many pastimes that we can think of.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
That's Prabhu, was it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you. I forgot that this Ahalya pastime also, and this other one. Yeah, thank you so much for revealing this.
Yes, Vinti Mataji.
Very, very good explanation, sir. We have enlightened.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Sir, one small prayer, if you permit.
Yes, we'll do. Vinti Mataji, before
I will volunteer, sir. Since you told about Rama, I will just sing in Telugu. It will be, I think, understandable.
Okay. Before that, let Vinti Mataji, you have something to say?
जी प्रभु जी, आज के सेशन के लिए बहुत बहुत थैंक यू। श्री राम जी के बारे में इतने अच्छे से बताया आपने। उन्हें पति तो पावन बोला जाता है क्योंकि अहिल्या माता को उन्होंने तार दिया था इस जगत से। और हमें आपने बताया कि राम जी के पाने के रास्ते में, मतलब उनको पाने के लिए हम छोटा से छोटा एफर्ट भी करते हैं, तो वो हमें हमारे एफर्ट्स को देखते हैं छोटी छोटी बातों के लिए। इसके लिए
yes.
हमें हमेशा प्रेयर करना चाहिए। आपने कहा चैंटिंग करना चाहिए। अभी उस त्रेता युग में दशरथ जी महाराज यज्ञ से पाए थे, और इस टाइम का यज्ञ कीर्तन है, तो अगर हम अच्छे से कीर्तन करें तो भी श्री राम जी को पा सकते हैं।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Okay, anybody else would like to say anything?
Prabhuji, even Hanuman ji, he revealed this thing, Prabhuji, when he opened his chest and showed that
Yes.
Lord Rama and Goddess Sita was there. Both of them were there.
Yes.
That also showed that he
He's all pervading. He's all
that's pervading and all.
Yes. When Mother Sita wanted to give some gift, to all the associates of Lord, And I said, okay, what else I can give to Hanumanji? He just brought a necklace, diamond necklace to Hanuman. And Hanuman was happy, like, okay, Mother Sita gave something, but then he was looking, okay, what is there inside this necklace? He started searching. He started taking one diamond, and he saw that there's nothing through that. Like one more stone, he saw that nothing is through that. The whole necklace, he started seeing, and everybody was surprised. What is happening? It's a big insult to Mother Sita and to this Ayodhya, king. And then they could not resist themselves and asked Hanumanji, what are you doing? He said, sorry, but for me the greatest gift is and I always look for my beloved Lord Ram and Mother Sita, and if there is something where there is no Lord or there is no presence of Mother Sita, I consider that as insignificant, invaluable, whatever you might think as the most precious thing. That's the quality of a devotee. If there is no Lord, then it's just insignificant. And if there is a Lord, right, that is the most valuable thing. And then everybody said, oh, are you saying that, like, like you really value, wherever only Lord, do you have it within you? Right? He said, yes.
He opened his chest.
He opened his chest. All these pastimes have so much deep meaning. That how we should keep the Lord in our heart, and how we should really keep everything which really helps us closer to the Lord, which really brings us, keeping the center, the Lord. But if something which really distracts us, away from the Lord, that is, devotee just throws it away.
I think Prabhuji, one more of Shabari's pastime, no? Shabari, yes. She used to taste and give, and then he himself to her also, and liberated her.
What do we really learn from Shabari's pastime? And like once again, the Guru Nishtha, she had heard, long back, that yes, Lord Ram will come, and have that patience. He was not saying that, oh, once I chanted, one day I chanted, 1 month I chanted, 1 year I chanted, oh, Lord is not coming. Oh, my Guru is a cheater. He cheated me. No. He was continuing every day with same enthusiasm, same love, and same intensity. He was really decorating the road. He was really bringing the fruits. And he had that same intense mood to serve Lord Ram. And it's no wonder Lord came. And Lord reciprocated with her intense desire. He just, accepted even the Jhuta bear. Right? Yes.
And she got moksha also. She got moksha also.
Yes, Lord accepts. Lord accepts.
Liberated.
Yes.
Lot of lessons also, Prabhu. Lot of lessons we learn from Ramayana.
Yes.
How a son should take care of father, his family members.
Absolutely.
Between brothers also.
Brothers.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, madam. Mataji.
So here, like, most of the times, right, like, hardly we hear Ramayana. Even if we hear, most of the times it is just for some manranjan or nice story or nice, like, as we watch a movie, similarly we watch maybe a Ramayana, and sometimes maybe some tear comes, but after that, like, it's gone, right? But the purpose of the scripture is to transform our heart, to make us a better human being. Like as we heard in the beginning, the Valmiki is roaring the glories of Lord Ram, so that all the anarthas from our heart go away. And that is the purpose.
He set an examples. How a human being should lead his life.
Yes. That should be our goal.
And some people think why Rama means Sita ji ko thoda takleef bhi hua hai. ऐसा भी सोच रहे थोड़ा लोग, but I think all that is, I think, to give a lessons to maybe human beings.
There is maybe some point of time we'll discuss in detail, because people have that question. We'll discuss sometime.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Because of Bhrigu Muni's sharp.
Yeah, that is one external reason, and there are internal reasons as well. That how like Mother Sita, she wanted to serve the rishis, or she wanted to release the mood of separation, and there are so many other reasons are there.
Again, Lavakosha comes later.
Yes, there are so many other reasons are there.
Yeah.
And internal reasons why Mother Sita was away from Lord Rama. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada.